Stanny with words are matter, here to discourage you from demonizing half the planet and blaming everything that's wrong in our culture on men. A, because it's not true. B, because it's super divisive and it's doing our human family a grave disservice. And what I'm realizing is that I think that 99% of the time that people demonize men in like a larger cultural context, the object of their derision and frustration isn't actually embodied men, it's hierarchy, right? It's the larger organizational structure that is enslaving all of us, including men. So this was inspired by my Saturday salon, where I had a person on the call who was feeling scarcity of time, lack around time, and like there wasn't enough time for her to create the organization that she's so clear and passionate about. And then someone else weighed in with this, albeit brilliant observation. She said, well, you know, men are the ones who invented time, and men are the ones who've created this concept that we have to work, you know, 8-hour days and 40-hour work weeks, and that's all men and that's all bullshit. And I gave her props because it is bullshit. 100%. And good on her for pointing that out. And to demonize men, to demonize half the planet for this is off base, because there's not a man alive today who had anything to do with the decision to perv our calendar system, to perv our notion of time, and to impose this 40-hour work week upon us, right? Those were minions of hierarchy who were acting however many centuries ago. And so I'm encouraging you and me and all of us to switch out the word men when we're deriding what we don't like or when we're frustrated with culture, and to replace it with hierarchy. Because the issue is not in the embodied people who are just as much victims to this larger outdated system that is hierarchy as any one of us. Hierarchy does us all a disservice. Hierarchy alleges that for there to be winners, there have to be losers. So right now, we have a lot of people, and I'll just speak for women, you know, I'll cozy up in the protective confines of my own XX chromosomes. We have a lot of women thinking that the solution is to step on men to get to the top. So that's hierarchy, right? There's no equality there. There's no sustainable, progressive, evolutionary force that's shifting our culture for the better. It's just switching out the players, switching out the winners, switching out the losers. It's the same old dumb game. When we're taking issue with men and blaming men, right, and we're deciding that half the planet is wrong, okay, we are acting out the masculine. So there are masculine energetics and there are feminine energetics, and we are all embodied by our own unique mix and alchemy of both. The masculine divides, the masculine separates, the masculine fights and conquers. Okay, those are all capital M masculine. So when I see women who are blaming and shaming men and deriding half the population, it's so cuckoo pants to me, because they are acting out the masculine. They are reinforcing the patriarchal construct that they are allegedly fighting against. And fighting, again, is also a masculine shadow, a masculine strategy. So as we are envisioning, as we are calling in gender equality, as we are calling in a global culture that is reflective of an equal honoring and respecting of masculine, feminine energetics, then it is on us to embody the feminine and to use feminine tools and strategies and techniques to do that. And that means unifying, because the feminine includes and acknowledges and unifies and holds space for everything. So, as you and me and all of us are choosing to live in a world that is more reflective of a balanced honoring of masculine and feminine energetics, then it is on us to embody the feminine and to act from the feminine, which means not dividing, not shaming, not blaming, not deriding, not stepping on to take our place at the top, but instead unifying and coming together to create a more equal, harmonious, cooperative cultural landscape. When we conflate the embodied men, right, our embodied brothers, husbands, sons, fathers, grandfathers, elders, friends, what have you, with the larger systemic issue that is hierarchy, we're creating division and separation and hostility and conflict amongst our human family, and it's not really doing anyone any good. So I'm encouraging you and me and all of us to get way more real and way more specific with our frustration with the larger overarching construct, which is doing all of us disservice, and to back off from giving men such a hard time, because we're missing the point. I'm envisioning this larger, like there's this structural overlay, picture it like maybe a snow globe, right? And that's the toxicity. And then you have the beings inside who are being manipulated into fighting with one another and blaming one another, while the larger toxic construct remains unexamined and thus unchanged. So the reason why you're tuning into me is because you're a change maker, and you are here to seed the new paradigm and new earth and to raise the collective out of this enslavement. And that means not demonizing men, not blaming men for the systemic issues. It means, in fact, working together with our brothers and sisters, white, black, purple, gay, straight, abled, lisping, what have you, that we band together as a collective to shift the larger construct that is manipulating us to think that we are the problem when we're not. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for remembering that every word matters, that you are omniscopic amazingness. Have a rockin' day. Mwah.